Like you see all these other businesses, food and beverage, like, you know, entertainment, products, like like people put in one big basket of business and they put property over here. Let me tell you something. All the problems that are in property are the exact same problems in every other business. Property is just like any other business. Yes, like some of the barriers to entry is a little bit higher because of the value of property. But overall, if I'm talking about problems in my business, one of my biggest problems is probably staffing and personnel. That's the problems in most businesses. When we talk about how we make money, you buy cheap, you sell high. You understand supply and demand. You understand consumer trends and what people want. Like property is the same as any other business. And if you're good at running whatever business you've currently got, you'll probably be able to smash it in property. You just need to understand how that skill set really can, you know, transfer into the property space.
Yo, people, welcome back to the Bread and Butter podcast. You're here with myself, Tayo.
Myself, Eman.
We got a very special guest for you in the building. As you can see on the sofas, you know we got a special guest in the building, but if you're listening on the audio, I want you guys to know we've got the property influencer / content creator in the building.
Come on, man.
The people's favorite.
Yeah.
And that's real facts. We've got property by Kazi in the building.
Come on.
Welcome, bro.
How's it going, brothers? How's it going? You look good?
I'm good, man. Long overdue.
Oh, hey, listen, I thought I had to submit a request to your PA. The PA had to go through the VA. There was so much stuff to even try and get on his pod. Like,
you see, man, like this is jarring because we give him the dates. It's like, yeah, I'm in the Alps this weekend. Yeah, I'm going Monaco. Am I lying?
No, I just have a little enjoyment. But I'm, you know, for my bros.
Enjoyment. I love it. You love enjoyment. It's good, bro. It's good. Your diary's hard to get into as well, bro.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be, though.
It is.
Yeah.
But before we get into it, we always ask the people at the beginning, what is their bread and butter? So let the people them know before we get into some bits and pieces.
All right, cool. So I'm a property developer, investor, as you mentioned now, dabble in the content, education side of things as well. But first and foremost, a property investor. Been doing that for the last 10 years plus, been saying 10 years for ages. Probably closer to like 13 now.
Yeah. 13 doesn't have the same ring though, right?
Yeah, don't sound like, you know, a decade and change. I've been doing it for a decade and change.
Yeah.
Focus on buying, you know, properties in high value areas in London, doing high standards refurbs, and generally flipping. So that's buying, adding value, and selling on.
Yeah, cool. And we want to get into that kind of like the journey and the mindset that made you get into that, right? But I think one thing that we want to start asking people is that, what do you enjoy most about doing what you do?
I think what I enjoy most has really changed over the years. Like when I started, I think it was the freedom. So it was the fact that if I was doing like one project a year, 2 projects a year, I may have really busy periods of 2 months, 3 months, but then realistically for the rest of the year, my time was my own. Like I could spend time, where's the saying, yo, like you said, we're going to the Alps, we're going to Monaco, we're going wherever because I'm earning, you know, annual salaries, double annual salaries in the space of a couple of months.
Yeah.
And then I had a lot more free time to kind of figure out where I wanted to get to. I think one thing that's interesting in property is it has quite or landlords as a whole have quite a bad rep in terms of landlords are money grabbers, landlords don't care about their tenants, landlords just want to do the bare minimum. So I think being able to change that narrative and really create high quality homes that, you know, make sense for me and obviously make sense for the end user, that's definitely been something I've enjoyed as well.
Yeah, I think that's one thing I love about your properties. When I come on your podcast, he was in one of your developments.
Yeah.
Like, he showed me around. I was just like, this is levels. Bro, we could go to hotels that don't have finishing at the level that you had in that property. And it's like, that's one thing I love about your properties is the quality. And obviously, I think one thing about you is that you understand that you represent all of us. Do you understand? So you do it at the highest quality because you know that actually when people come and look at a black developer, you want to know that, look, I've got examples just as good as any other developer. And I think that's something that you take, even if it means that you don't make as much profit as you could do, that the finish is phenomenal. It's
longevity. Like you can either be in this for a quick good time, quick lick, or you can be in this for a long time. And if you create a high standard of product, the people that, you know, maybe are selling properties, they're going to come to you knowing that you're going to do a good deal and knowing you're going to give them a really easy job on the back end when they've got to sell the property now. So I think, like, I'm definitely like a longevity person when it comes to business.
Where did that all come from? Because you're in business at the moment. Like, where does that all come from? The mindset that, do you know what, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to specialize in. I'm going to be in it for the long run. I'm going to make sure I deliver a good product. I'm going to make sure that I showcase my work and show people that this is how you do it. Like, I guess not everybody thinks like that. So where would you say
No,
that
I
came
didn't think
from?
like that. If you think I thought like that, like I had this, and I think that's a misconception that like, business people go into business with this mad master plan
Yeah.
that you've got it written out from A to Z and you're just working through the alphabet. My like business plan has been Q, Z, P, double, like it jumps all over the place.
Speak on it. Let's say run the people through a quick timeline. I
Yeah.
know the timeline for
Yeah, no,
for
but I
people
think
that
like,
don't know.
so but what I say about it, see, like when you're saying, like showcasing your stuff, I was developing properties for like 8 years before I posted one on the internet. I had friends' mums that thought I was trapping because that's what their sons were doing. So like, you know, I think in terms of like learning that actually it's okay to talk about money. It's okay to talk about success. The importance of documenting what you're doing. A lot of that comes later. Even really understanding intricacies of the business. A lot of that comes later. I think for the aspiring entrepreneurs, it's about starting.
Yeah.
Like nothing happens beyond dreams. Like to turn dreams into goals, into reality, they all take action. So I think that's probably one of the most important parts. And if I use my journey as an example, I didn't start with goals to become a property developer. Like from the longest, I never grew up thinking, oh, do you know what? One day I'm going to flip houses. You know, I don't even really remember. In my head, I just thought, okay, I wanted to find something that was going to make money.
Yeah.
I wanted to find something I enjoy. First thing I found that I enjoyed was shisha. So I said, okay, cool. How can I make a business around this? Built a business from just little £500 investment that grew into a shisha business, to a shisha kind of company, to shisha bar, fixed location, etc. Made good money from something that I enjoy. But from that, had the kind of light bulb moment of, you know what? I want to be in more control of my destiny and own the asset. So my next natural kind of vocation from what I'm aware of was ownership, was property. So I kind of said, okay, let me pivot into that. Let me do the research. And my first project I really enjoyed. So I don't think a lot of the time it is kind of trial and error and not being afraid to fail. And if you don't like something, maybe failing quickly, or just realizing that your life is chapters. Like it's okay to have chapter 1 and then move on to chapter 2 very quickly and just continue to grow in that stead.
If I had one word for you that I was to describe you, it would be integrity. Where does that come from? Because for as long as I've known you from day one, you've always been a man of integrity. And in fact, you even put on your back and you will call out other people within the industry that you feel aren't acting with integrity. Where does that come from? For you?
My social media team, sometimes they'd be like, they messaging me, Kazy, you're wilding, this is off brand. And I'd be like, no, I'm just saying a few things.
Yeah.
But I think I can't just say like that's who I am, but that's what I believe. And your beliefs are very important. They underpin who you are.
Yeah.
They underpin the culture of your business, of who you are as an individual. And I'm just a firm believer in that, like, you guys talk about credit all the time.
Yeah.
You have your credit in experience, and all these, but like the reality of your real credit is your real life credit.
Yeah.
Do you deliver? If you say you're going to turn up, do you turn up?
Yeah.
If you say you're going to do something, do you do it? Do you cut corners? And over time, like you can make, like we all know people that have made money, like, you know, quickly, quick this, whatever. But I just think like longevity is really what out trumps, like, you know, the quick wins in terms of success.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, like Eman said, the integrity and the mission is important as well. I'm going to speak about the mission as well, but I was just smiling because Eman said something about integrity and you spoke about call-outs, innit? And without giving too much away, we haven't even spoken about it.
Yeah.
But there's one time Kazi mentioned me about something that was being planned. He was like, Tips, bro. You know me, I got my ears to the streets. And he said, I'm not sure about, you know what I'm trying to say? And lo and behold, bro, like a year later,
Bro,
bro.
I think, do you know what's so mad is? I've had conversations with both of you separately where I've like, you lot have said, oh, and I said, bro, like, cause I know you guys and I know your stuff's proper.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, if you stand next to somebody who's not legitimate, do you know, like when people say, and this isn't calling you, but you know when people, not like thoughts, you know what thoughts is?
Yeah.
Thoughts is like, stand for, like, I can't remember, like something
that
like,
over there.
that them hoes over there.
Yeah.
So it's that same thing of like, if you're just talking about that group of people, if you are standing next to them or affiliated with them, you're very quickly as part of that collective.
Yeah.
So I think when we're talking about who we stand next to, who we affiliate ourselves with, it's really important to make sure we're giving off the right message, particularly when people have an access and an opportunity to influence people in our community, particularly those that are more impressionable, so that the younger gen as well.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I rate, because we've had bare messages, like different people, and you're just like, bro, like, I know what you're on, but these men are selling a dream. I never forget when that these men are selling a dream, and you need to check them. And you need to make sure that it's not wrong to say what you want to say. Like what that person was saying was fine, but the way they're saying they did it doesn't reflect how it was actually done. So now somebody else is coming in off a dream thinking that it's possible to do it this way, when actually it's not really possible to do it that way.
Yeah.
And all Kazi was like, just tell them to just say how they actually got to where they are, rather than making it like they've got from this 0 to step 20, when really they started on step 15 and they got to step 20.
It's confusing. Like, it's confusing. Man. People, and then also, people think they're going mad, you know, like they can't get there because like, oh, why is it not working for me? Because that didn't work for anyone.
Yeah.
Like, it never worked for the person who, like, you know, that story wasn't a real thing.
Yeah. It's so true. And I think that going back to documenting the journey, that's what kind of helps and validates it as well. So I want to ask you, what made you start documenting your journey? Because I feel like we started roughly around the same time.
Yeah, it was lockdown. Everyone was in their house. Everyone had loads more free time. Everyone was realizing that actually, you know, people are spending a lot of time on their phones consuming content. And mine's weird because, like, you see when you said like old school people's champ, like, it's because when I started documenting property content in the way I did, there wasn't like 100, 200, 500 property developers like there is now doing very similar things. I was kind of just working out, and it was very much a case of I didn't necessarily outwardly go out there to document it. I just happened to have before and after pictures because I needed them, because I was documenting it more from if I need to make a deck to send over to an investor, I need the befores and afterwards so they can see the work. But off the back of, you know, doing however many 50 plus projects, you now have a back catalogue that I can just go and feed into. So lockdown, I was like, I was on my DJ Khaled vibe. Another one. I was just feeding the streets with projects every week.
Yeah.
And that really helped. And the feedback as well. Like the thing, we often talk about the internet being like the wild, wild west. You put something out there in the comment section, it's just gonna just mash you up. But like, honestly speaking, like I've been blessed that like the people that engage with me, I think because I'm not selling dreams or I'm not talking down on anybody else's hustle, like it's always been really positive, that even when it feels a bit long, it makes it a lot easier to keep pushing with the content.
I really want to talk about talking down on other people's hustle, or talking down on people in general, right? But before I do, when you first started in social media, I even remember, and I knew this is how I knew your thing was peak, because when I first started social media with Bricks with Tips, Antoinette did the Instagram, I did the Twitter. So I was only on Twitter, I didn't really view Instagram. And that's probably why I don't really use Instagram that much now, because I'm more of like a natural Twitter user. But I remember like in like a quarter of the year, I think it was like the first 6 months, my most retweeted post was a picture of your development.
That's mad.
It's like I've tagged your handle basically and said, go check it out on Instagram basically, which is actually
crazy.
mad, innit?
Yeah.
But as you're growing in success, what is it about you that makes you not speak about people that maybe might be on the come up or want to help people on the come up? Because I feel like, especially in the UK, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, there is this notion that once they're successful, it's kind of like, I can't believe that people are struggling. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? There's very much so, there's a lot of situations where there's that kind of like attitude to it.
I think it's weird, like, because realistically, the whole Instagram was very much, like I said, it wasn't a plan to be like, yo, let's go and grow this thing.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go and make money from it. My whole thing was like, yo, let me just talk about what I do. Let me share some knowledge if you like it. Like when I was first making like content, I was just talking to myself in the comment section. Like, hey, what do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of this house? I'm replying first comment, I really like it. Like, you know, it was that. But then over time, when we started to get more engagement, my whole thing was like, look, I'm blessed that I've got this platform now where I can reach people. And do you remember I used to have the segment called like Ask Somebody Else on a Sunday, like during lockdown, every Sunday I have someone on the live. My whole thing about that was like, listen, like I just want to share more value. So as many people as we can get on that are doing good things. If you're doing amazing things, let me kind of put a spotlight on you so you can talk about it. It adds more value to what I'm talking about as well. Talking down on people, I think is just it's weird, like, because we're all working, like, and it doesn't matter like what house you've got. There's someone with a nicer house on the next street or the next street. It doesn't matter what
Facts.
watch you've got. There's someone that bought that watch 10 times over just to sit in there safe.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what yacht you've got. There's always somebody with a bigger yacht. Like, so if you judge yourself by the amount of money that you have, you're never going to be happy.
Yeah.
So it's like a catch-22 for people that do that. I think it's a sour place.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. One of the things that you're very, very big on is kind of like passing on value. And I think that for the people that do operate in the property space or even like the finance space as well, there has been people that have kind of like learned off you and now they've been teaching others. Is that something that you're like very, very passionate about? Or is that something that you intended to do? Was it by chance or how did it come about?
No, like, it's just yeah, it was just a case of sharing knowledge. So like some of the people that maybe are like the few people like early on, I mentored like a couple of people, and like a lot of them have mentored more people than I have now. Like they've gone on and they've kind of built a business around it, around the success they had. But it's each one teach one. Like if you can share some knowledge and it helps somebody else, like my real thing is that, you know, that there's enough money out there, there's enough properties out there, there's enough doors out there that we can all be successful. So like a real measure of my success is somebody that I've helped being more successful than me.
One of the things I've seen on socials recently is talking about how the industry doesn't really embrace the culture as much. And so there's this big gap between industry and culture. And like, so like you're doing your thing, like we do our thing, and like certain celebrities or whatever won't endorse what you're doing or show love or light on it. And like, should they or shouldn't they? You personally, you've got loads of industry friends and I see you all about, and you get they've embraced what you do. What do you think it is about what you do that makes them feel comfortable to attach themselves to you? And why do you think that maybe they don't attach themselves to other people in property or finance or whatever it is on social media?
I think like to be fair, like a lot of people that have got really big platforms,
Yeah,
they don't even see half the stuff that's going on, like just because it's just white noise. Like I don't spend a lot of time scrolling through socials. It's when I see people and they're like, "Yo, this is who I am." I'm like, "Oh, that's cold." Like, let me connect with you. But I think a lot of them, to give them their like fairness, they're probably not gonna see it. But I've had some proper good people that have just reached out to me and just like been like, "Yo, bro, I see what you're doing." Like random people that you wouldn't even know. I mean, going to an event and then Wretch being like, "Yo, Kazi," and I'm like, yeah, like you have to keep it chill, but you said, "Yo, this is cool, man."
Yeah.
But I think the crossover is kind of, I guess, just being more authentically yourself.
yeah,
Not trying to be overly polished, not trying to be overly opposite in a different direction, just being kind of yourself. And I guess maybe bridging the gap that, you know, people that do look, sound like you still do have the intention to invest in property, to build, you know, portfolios, regardless of the size, whether it's, you know, whether it's a conversation around should you buy your first home and is that a good investment, or whether it's a conversation around should you invest a lot of money in property. I think just normalizing the conversations that we kind of independently have between friends and having it, you know, on a wider platform has been helpful for that.
You know, Clark, I don't know your answer to that question. What's your answer to the question? Should you buy your first home?
Should you buy your first home?
Yeah.
You see, my problem is, and this is why I do rubbish, on like reels and stuff. I can't answer questions quickly. Also, I sit on the fence a lot. But like,
I think it's on the fence answer.
because the thing is, but this is my thing in most scenarios. I say, like, see now, every Instagram reel starts like this. My biggest mistake in 2025. If you're not doing this, you're doing it wrong. Like, we're built around sound bites because that's what people like.
Yeah.
But the reality is, sound bites are rubbish because they don't take into account personal circumstance.
Yeah.
And should you buy your first home is an impossible question to answer without knowing somebody's circumstance.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I think it depends on who you are, what do you want. Because if you're looking purely from an investment standpoint, in most scenarios, I'd say yes. Because even if you don't want to live there, you could get consent to let after 6 months. At the moment, there's 0 and 5% mortgages in terms of deposits. If you can own like an asset and you can basically so with a 5% mortgage, be controlling an asset worth 20 times the amount you've put in and can benefit from capital appreciation, can benefit from cash flow over time, chances are it's going to represent a good return on investment, money put in versus long-term returns. But in a lot of circumstances, if you're somebody who's got a really good business idea and it's a service-led business with like 70% margins, and you're talking about, should I put in £30,000 for a property or should I invest £30,000 into my business? That £30,000 may be way better invested into your business, but it's risk and reward.
Yeah.
Your property is going to stay where it is and probably appreciate over time. Relatively, maybe well, not that as fast anymore. Your business might 10, 20x and could give you the money to buy, your property outright, or it could go to 0 and like 90% of businesses, it could be a startup that folds.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. And I think that, look, I agree with your answer. And that's why I always give that answer that I say that it depends on who you are. Like, if you're not investing elsewhere, you're not an extremely high earner. And it's the third rule I got, but you should buy your first home. But me and Eman speak about the UK attitude versus the US attitude a lot as well, because they're very like open to risk. So a lot of them will go into business first.
They grab around guns.
Yeah, facts.
There's risk.
No, listen.
There's inherent risk.
It's different.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? So they would like run a business and then use the proceeds from that to buy a property. But then again, they're different. They're operating in a different market to us, whereby property is such a strong asset in the UK specifically. You mentioned something about content, which I'm going to segue into, which we touched on a little bit, right? Because we spoke about sometimes where people like will make property or whatever it is, we can even go off property, seem a certain way on socials, right? But as creators ourselves, right, I guess it's very, very hard to make good content in 60 seconds anyway, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a catch-22.
I feel like every piece of content you make needs a disclaimer to be like, by the way, please read the terms and conditions.
Literally.
There is 1,000 other things to consider. This is just one small element of a wider problem.
Exactly that, because let's just say that you're speaking about a new, I don't know, I want to take it away from probably a new business levy that's come up, right? There's only so much you could get in that 60 seconds that still allow people to be interested.
Or it's boring.
Or it's boring.
Yeah. See, like you have to read on the 17th of July, 2022, people are already gone. People are already on to the frog doing a backflip, like on the next room.
So that's why people add hooks like,
add the
if
source.
you don't watch this, you could be bankrupt by the end of the year.
But I really want a disclaimer. Like, I want to be able to have a disclaimer at the end, like it says, by the way, not all views are 100% mine, and some of them are subject to people's opinions.
literally. But it's a mad place to be at. And I think that also is why people need to understand that like content creation is there to inspire or spark the ignition on something that you're going to learn about, basically. But you can't simply piece together 1,000 60-second videos, basically.
Because they're going to be so like polarizing in opinion. Everybody has to be super die on a hill on one piece, and then they'll die on a hill on the other piece. So I think they're just to give you ideas and be thought-provoking for you to then go and do the research about the wider base of content.
Yeah.
We've seen with you, like obviously with you got your community, and literally everybody that I've met from your community is doing well. I've never met anyone in your community that's it. And I'll be honest, doing what I do, I get so many complaints.
Yeah, listen.
Because I'm that trusted financial advisor.
He's ombudsman.
Yeah.
I'm like,
You know that when it's complaints, you have to take them to Eman. Like, yo, listen.
I get so many complaints. People come, I did this course, or I did this training, I didn't get the help, I didn't get this, Eman got a complaint. Me, I'll have to go and call somebody. Can you refund them? Oh, Eman, it wasn't like this. And I'm involved in nonsense that I don't even want to be involved in. But I'm glad that the community trusts someone, right? But one thing I say, obviously I say the same thing in time, but with your community, like, you are so genuine with them, like in regards to the fact that you show them everything. Like I think the biggest thing about like education is empowerment. I'm always, when I talk to my people, I'm like, I want you to leave this meeting empowered. I want you to feel empowered that you can achieve it. And the way you teach your community, like take them to the different houses, you show them the mistakes you made, you show them the costs, you take them you take them to Wix and show them this is the exact floor you were just standing on, and it's so valuable because again, once you have the confidence, oh right, this is that, this is the team, you are so great at, teaching and coaching your community because they walk around with so much more confidence. When I speak to them, because I ask them that, so what do you learn? What have you done? What? And they're like, I've done this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And a lot of the time they don't want to leave. So even if they've done really well, they still want to be part of it. Because they feel like there's a gem that you're going to give them that's going to help them in the future.
I've got people that are like, listen, like I might have saved them like £20,000 in the lease. This guy, he's like, I'm never leaving. It doesn't matter. If it's me and you here, we'll be here forever. Like, because it makes sense. But I think, look, honestly speaking, I never had the intention to start a community.
That's what I was going to say.
That's what makes it really good in that people are like, we're reaching like 1 million people a month on the socials.
Yeah.
Like we're being like hundreds of thousands of people. I speak to thousands that are saying, I learned this, I did that, but I need more now. I want more from you. So I just said to myself, look, I can't mentor one-on-one. That's not my calling. So I said, look, what would I have wanted 10 years ago? And how can I help create that blueprint?
Yeah.
So I said, look, like, let's not gatekeep anything. Let's have access to the solicitors, the structural engineer, the architect, the mortgage broker, everybody that you're going to need as part of your journey. Then let's have the conversations with the real life people doing real deals in the current market, not from 10 years ago, not like systems and strategies that don't work anymore. Let me talk about my deals right now. Let me talk about what I did wrong last week so you don't make that mistake. And I think my whole thing was about the community is let me give people enough that they can take their next step with confidence. So I don't pitch it as, oh, by the way, Kazi's going to make you $1 million. It's that, look, I'm going to be here to support you on your journey. I had a call this morning and I always tell people, I say, look, I'm a good property developer. I'm a bad salesman. So when people want to join, they sit down, they have a call with me. They'll be like, look, what are you currently doing? What do you want to do? Some of them, 5 minutes and I say, it's not for you. Some of them we sit down, I say, oh, do you know what? I think you're going to really match like the culture we've kind of curated in the community. And yeah, like you said, like our results wise, it's been amazing. But I think more than that, like for me, it's great as well because we can use that community buying power, which was always the dream, to actually be able to negotiate better prices with lenders, to actually be able to get first refusal on certain deals because they know, you've come through Kazi, you're going to do business correctly. And like the people, I guess, as a community are now reflective of my brand that I've built as a whole.
I think I love most is that you didn't want to do a community. When I spoke to you, you proper didn't want to do it.
Remember,
like, you were like, nah.
You was on my pods from early. I'm saying I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
So I'm going to lay the foundation on something, right? Because you said something that's super important. 1 million impressions, you can't really service that. 100,000 people interested, you cannot service that, right? And I'm speaking as we've all got some kind of education element on this so far. Eman looks after his community. I look after mine. You look after yours. I'm going to ask you a question, Kaz. When you started and you saw the positive outcomes people were getting and how you were able to kind of like nurture that select few, did you feel that, do you know what, I'd been depriving people for years, that they could have used this 1 or 2 years prior?
Yeah. So number one, 100%.
Because that's how I felt.
But like also, there was kind of that light bulb moment. I think I'm somebody that I'm a perfectionist. So when I wanted it to be perfect day one. And I said, whatever I put my name to because of my whole attitude around integrity, I was like, if it's not perfect, I'm not doing it. But then me just getting started, and that's what we spoke about at the beginning of the pod, just get going and you'll work it out along the way. Seeing the results is what really helped to remove my imposter syndrome of, maybe I don't know enough. Maybe it's not going to be perfect. Because people are like, listen, I'll pay double. I'll give me more of this. Like I wanted this earlier. So I think sometimes being able to see like the great results and the good feedback from people and being able to actively help people really gives you more confidence to deliver a better product in the long term.
And I think as an ecosystem, it works really, really well as well. The reason why I say that is that as a creator, somebody who puts myself out there and has done for a long time, I understand that a lot of the time you realize, and I'm sure everybody in this couch realizes how much your reputation means, basically. So because of that, I don't think twice when Eman knows already. Someone needs financial advice. I won't even message Eman. I'm just like, Eman, here's the details, basically. Similar to yourself. I don't even need to tell you. Because I know, because you've been a creator for so long, the juice that you would have put into it, basically. Obviously, I'm aware about the PBK community and who's in there and so on and so forth. But I just know that it's going to be a great offering. Because of how long you've been building your brand, like your reputation's attached to it, like it can't be whacked, basically. So I think that for the overall ecosystem, it's such a big benefit as well, basically, and it flows into each other. Because now when someone, like, it helps me with that. Flip, oh, you want to know about flips? Oh, perfect. I get to end the convo early. Do you guys want to say, oh, is flips you're interested? Oh, here you go. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So
it's so good, but I think also it's the integrity, right? Because I think sometimes, like, I have been caught out. Like, I have recommended people that I think are doing a good job, and then they're not. And then, bruv, I've had to refund people from my own pocket, like, because I feel like
else's.
Because I feel like you went there because of me.
Yeah, no, even,
do you understand?
With this, like, starting out, like, there was people that I've worked alongside and I worked with them and they worked well with me because they really wanted to work with me.
That's a dangerous one.
When they now went to go and work for other people, they didn't see the value in them because this person's just started just small and they didn't deal with them properly. So I've now had to go and distance myself from certain people and actually look at rehiring, reaffiliating for people that actually deliver. And I think it's like, look, nothing's going to be perfect day one, but you have to be willing to be accountable. Be like, you know what? Hold my hands up. That person didn't perform, but what we've done is we've made the necessary changes. We've adapted. Now it's better.
And people rate it. Like, people rate the honesty. People understand that you can't control other people. Like, someone can be good and then you can't control it. But when you're willing to take accountability and say, look, this is how we're going to solve this, is what we're going to do. But then also learning. And I think that's why for me now, I don't really recommend about relationship. Like, because the thing is,
you feel bad a little bit though. Like, because someone's like, say someone's like, have you got a plumber? And I've got a plumber.
It's impossible. It's impossible.
How you deal with it? Have I really got?
You know what is it? No,
so I think it's that bad experience that you just keep on remembering that bad experience, bro. It's
like, you know what? Sometimes I have a great, like, someone might say,
he was peak.
Sometimes
at the time he was peak. At the time of recommending he was peak.
I was with Tayo, and Tayo said, I told you, everyone comes to me for no reason. It's nothing.
By the way, for clarity, this is a trades that recommended. That was peak at the
common
time
plumber, you know.
At the peak at the time of recommending, then obviously something has changed, didn't it?
Yeah, but it's like, but the thing is, like, how somebody is with one person. Listen, like, go back to like football. Like, I remember someone saying, "Yo, Mama Bridging, he's cold," you know. Carmi just is stepping on his own feet. Come on. Like, maybe when you played with him, he had a good game. And that's it. I think there does have to be that's why life comes with a disclaimer. Like, you know, buyer beware. Like, I'm saying, as far as I know, but do your own due diligence.
And also there are people, like, for example, like, I know if I sent someone to Kazi, which I do, like, when anyone's, you want to talk about flip, there's no way someone talks about flip or property development. I don't think you got to speak to Kazi. He's the best in the game. I always tell people, to me, best in the game. I've seen his work. I've spoke to people that I know. But I also know if they come from me, I know, even if they don't mention me, I know he's going to give his all so they get the best result. Even if they don't mention me. But if they do mention me, he's even going to give them the extra. Even when they're flopping, he's going to make sure that, right, you know what? Come from Eman, so I want you to win. So he's going to give you extra. And I feel like it's important, like, who you recommend, because, again, it's your brand. And so for me, I always say the referral, when you're referring, it's your name on the line. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So make sure you've actually got relationships. Like,
scary though, isn't it? Scary. The referral business is scary.
Scary, bro.
Because that's why, like, you now, Tayo will struggle to refer a plumber or someone now, because it's like, I don't want this drama now. I'm not doing it. Bro, I was trying to help.
Apologies to anyone that's asked me, because a couple times people ask me, kind of like, what area?
Listen, even though
ideally I would have worked with them in the last 2 weeks, basically.
Even someone will ask me for like a painter. And they were like, you got a good painter. And in my head, I'm thinking, yeah, but everyone's got their own quirks.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, this painter's really good. He's cheap, but I know he can be late. But I'll give all the disclaimers. I'll be like, look, use him, but this. Because in my head, I'm thinking, I always want to under-promise and then they over-deliver rather than the other way around. But sometimes, like, things can't be helped.
Yeah, at all. In the property space, right, I guess that some people do the property thing in that, like, property is like the be all and end all of what they do. And it's kind of like, there's not, how do I put it? Let me speak about what you do, basically. I feel like I like your content because it's aspirational content. I feel like you're very comfortable showing people what is possible with property. Like, what makes you want to do that and kind of show people that?
My team are always on to me. They're like, Kazi, you're so boring. Why don't you show lifestyle? Why don't you show here? And I'm just thinking, it don't really blend with what I'm trying to show people. So I just try and show people the reality of it. Like
Yeah.
what we're really doing, what's really going on this week, the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, so I posted the other day when I was having to, like, people say, oh, big time property developer. I said, no, I got a complaint. I had to go and mop the floors. Like, and I think the reality of just, okay, this is real life, because there might be the days you're on the yacht. There might be the days you got the mop in your hand.
Yeah.
And that's life.
That's the reality of it.
And I think we just try and, give people the real.
No, facts.
But also, other than property, what does Kazi invest in, bro? I thought that's where you were going.
Oh,
Yeah.
so do you know what it is? Yes, I've diversified. Big up, what's his name? Debs?
Yeah,
Debs.
Debs. Of course.
Yeah, big up Debs. He's got me investing like monthly into like index fund now. Kind of, me, I don't really understand certain things. That's like,
you've got the mental.
I've got the people there, so I say, listen, I go direct to the source. I'll be like, what should I do? I said, because even me, I was like, listen, I was talking about the stocks and shares. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna put in, like, I'm gonna put in 100K. It's like, no, you can't do it like that, because then it's at one price point. You gotta set up a direct debit and do it on a monthly. So I said, okay, cool. That's the learning. That's what I'm gonna do. I mean, I did crypto ages ago. I probably lost a load of money. It's sitting there. It's gone back up now, a lot of it. But I just see that as imaginary. In my head, that's like, imaginary money.
Yeah.
Like one day I'm gonna really need some money. I'm gonna go and withdraw, and hopefully it's real.
It's all happened to 50, right? Remember 50 cents? Remember he had that album that he sold it in Bitcoin?
Yeah.
And they laughed at him. They sold it in Bitcoin.
Well, apparently recently he realized it, right?
Yeah, he went back. He just forgot about it, because it was one album. He had the option to buy it in cash or buy it in crypto. Yeah. So people bought it in Bitcoin. And like now it's worth like 70-something million. Just sitting there.
That guy keeps on coming off.
He can't lose.
Yeah, no.
He keeps on coming off.
Look at him, yeah. He is the definition of, like, love him or hate him, he's the definition of standing on business.
Yeah.
Like standing on business and doing things his way and not really taking no nonsense, not just doing like what everybody says you should do and just doing whatever he thinks is right. And I think if you're somebody that's good in business, you have to trust your gut.
Yeah.
You have to trust that actually, let me not just follow the crowd. Let me not be the sheep. Let me be the wolf. Let me create my own lane.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he's done. But in terms of investments, yeah, so a little bit like the kind of things that a lot of people are doing. The stocks and shares, bit of crypto, invested in quite a few like startups.
I love that.
Which, like some two weren't great. 3 are doing really well.
What made you do the startup thing? What give you what is it? So if somebody says, right, you know what, I want to pitch my business to Kazi. What are the type of things that float your boat, or you think, okay, yeah, that could work?
Okay, so at the time,
yeah,
they were the people. Do I believe in the person running the business?
That's what a lot of them say. Is
like
the important thing.
You can have a bad idea and be a sick business person with a great business ethos, and you're gonna find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
Like, which is why they say like invest in people's like attitude rather than skills.
Yeah.
It's the same thing when it comes to angel investing. Like, of course, you can't just invest in the magic beans, but we've seen people make money out of magic beans, ideas that never should have worked, but actually really do.
Yeah.
So I think investing in people, but then outside of that, it's like generally stuff that I understand, like something that maybe I had a need for.
Yeah.
So when I see something that actually, do you know what? That business is something that I would use personally. And as long as I can see there's enough of a market cap and it makes sense that we're aligned in terms of, are they going for an exit? Are they actually, is it just a cash flow business, more lifestyle, that you're going to invest this, but I'm going to give you decent equity and you're going to get decent returns? There's no real long-term exit, but it's a good cash flowing business. So I think the idea and the personnel are probably my 2 driving factors.
So are you looking to invest in a paddle court or not?
And you know, I had an opportunity to invest. In like a one that's doing quite well now. But at the time when I ran the numbers, I love paddle, but I told myself, I'll just bankrupt my own business because I'll be there all the time and no one can book courts.
For the people that don't know, Kazi loves paddle. But I think that's sick to hear as well, like to hear diversification, because I think that everybody has their thing, but it's important to diversify and most importantly, keep learning as well, because there would have been learning curves in everything that you're doing as well, right?
And I think the thing that is weird about property is, like, you see all these other businesses, food and beverage, like, entertainment, products, like people put in one big basket of business and they put property over here. Let me tell you something. All the problems that are in property are the exact same problems in every other business. Property is just like any other business. Yes, like some of the barriers to entry is a little bit higher because of the value of property. But overall, if I'm talking about problems in my business, one of my biggest problems is probably staffing and personnel. That's the problems in most businesses. When we talk about how we make money, you buy cheap, you sell high. You understand supply and demand. You understand consumer trends and what people want. Like, property is the same as any other business. And if you're good at running whatever business you've currently got, you'll probably be able to smash it in property. You just need to understand how that skill set really can, you know, transfer into the property space.
Do you ever just like stop and think like who you are? Like because for me, when I like watching your journey, sometimes I see your content, I'm just like, I'm so bloody proud of this guy. Like, because people don't understand, Kazy's a hard working brother. Like, he does all the internet, this is a guy that has really grinded. Like I remember there's certain times we've been on calls and you're like, bruv, if the lender don't give me this, I'm not gonna do this, and I don't know, and I'm stressed, bro, but it's worked out, fam, and you're here now, you're educating others. Like, bro, I'm so proud of you. Like, do you ever just sit down and feel like, right, you know what? Can you imagine me that was back then, like now I'm actually becoming the lender for other people. Like I'm speaking to lenders, like people are coming to me because of the influence and so forth.
You know what, all the time, like, and I think this is probably a good problem to have, where it's a gift and a curse. Like, I always feel like I'm not doing enough. Like, I always feel like I should be doing more. I always feel like I've had a slow year. Like, I'm forever thinking like, oh, I could do more. I could do whatever. And I find like my easiest joy of like the wins of the people that I'm working alongside. So when like my bro As called me the other day, and like he won a property on this road that we were talking about, and I bought one like a couple doors down, and like I paid £40,000 more than him. And a lot of people look at that and they be like, they're angry that he got it for cheaper. But in my head, I'm like, my bro, yes, hey, we're doing this together. Like, I'm buzzing. So I think that side of things just really, really keeps me pushing and keeps me going.
No, it's
that's
fantastic.
really
man.
interesting.
But what you said, I think that's all three of us. Bricks is like that as well.
Yeah.
I can't. Bricks, sometimes I feel like I wanna fight him, because this brother will never be happy with anything. Ever. No matter what he does, he's always like, yeah, but I know doing this, and this one's just done that, and I feel like I should have done that. And if I would have just pushed that bit more, I could. Bro, are you even gonna live, bro? Like, wow, you gotta appreciate it as you're going along.
Absolutely. I think I'm someone that I always use this term, right? And I think I'm getting good at it, right? Is that you need to be ambitious but still practice contentment. And I feel like I'm in a space where over the last 2 years I've been doing it really, really well. The point that you made about that there's always a bigger yacht, it's something that I realized 4 years ago. Like, if you're chasing money or watching what other people do, you would genuinely never be happy. So you got to find your joy in other things, basically. And I think that that's super, super important for anybody to hear, right? Because it's going to allow you to be able to still be ambitious. Go on, you're going to say something?
No, I can't remember. I think it was someone like, it was like this, like someone else who's like a billionaire, like, or a millionaire. So they were talking about like they said like, oh, like someone asked them a question like, oh, why do you keep pushing? Like, why do you keep like trying to get more money when you're already worth like hundreds of millions? And then like he was like, oh, so I can get like a bigger jet than Grant Cardone. Like, kind of thinking I was going to be a bit of a funny one. He just turned around like without even thinking, just went, which one? And so, because he's got multiple jets. And it's that thing of like, if you are just pushing to be like, oh, so I can be bigger than this person, there's always going to be a bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
It's a rubbish way to live as well, to be quite honest with you.
No, trust me. And also, you don't appreciate like, that's why I'd rather focus on what do I want out of life.
Yeah.
Because if I'm happy with what I want out of life, it doesn't matter if man is making more money than me, because I'm living the life I want for myself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think that's something that we've all got in common, in that in what we do, it's very, you see more joy in, it's easier to see joy. It's easier to find joy in impacts that you have helped in other people's lives. I don't know what it is, but you can see externally out of yourself. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's like one of my biggest goals, Eman knows that, just away from everything, one of my biggest goals is to have a business that creates loads of jobs. I want to have a business that creates loads of jobs so people can provide for their families. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And that is something that isn't like necessarily related to money, but I know that would bring me joy, because but I know what it's like for people that don't have jobs. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And I know, especially for men, what it can be like when a man can't provide in today's world. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So
no, that's I mean, look, you just gotta find your way, and that when you see it, like I think someone put out there recently, that realistically, we're talking from a place of privilege, because when you have like you got like this, like Maslow's hierarchy of
Yeah,
needs.
yeah.
When you've satisfied like the basic needs and then beyond that, and you're comfortable, it's really easy to talk about the what if when
you're
comparing
right.
to people that don't. But that being said, once you get there and you're at a point where you've reached kind of that almost self-actualization that actually you've got what should make you happy, but you find that you're suffering, you have to remember, if you can't get happy then, you'll probably never find a way to be happy. Because if you get to a point where you've got, I think the number was like $2 or $3 million, which probably translate to like 1.5 to sort of £2.5 million. There's very little that you can't do that somebody, relatively speaking, with 100 million plus can do. You can still afford to have a nice house, a nice car, go on nice holidays, have investments that pay you back in terms of residual income and live a good life. So after your point of comfort and you've met that self-actualization, it's what do you want to do? What genuinely brings you joy and happiness, and use that as your driver and benchmark your success on happiness rather than money.
Yeah, I agree with that point you made, but I think the 2 to 3 million numbers changed now. Things have got expensive, bro.
Bro, let me tell you something.
Bro, 1 million house, bro. No, 1 million house, depending on where it is in London, it's a normal crib in certain places.
You know, the boys are going to Kent now, man.
Facts.
But I'm saying, like,
yeah, no, I'm with you. What you're saying makes perfect
speaking,
sense.
okay, £3 million, yeah. Again, not everybody needs the 4-bedroom house with a driveway with this, that, whatever. Like, I just finished like a luxury flat, 2.5/3 bed, garden, like Fulham, borders of like West Kent, and we're talking like 800k. That for somebody is their dream home for life.
Yeah.
In their ideal location in London.
Facts.
Outside, they could be sitting with whatever it is they want. Their G-Wagon, their Maserati, their Audi, their whatever it is. They've now got other money that they can invest with to pay their bills. So I get that life is expensive. You can always want more. But that more should come with how hard are you willing to work?
Absolutely.
What is the trade-off you're willing to make with your time? And I think the point more so is, once you get to that certain point, your important currency becomes time rather than money.
Absolutely.
A random question: who's bread and who's butter?
This guy is hilarious.
The answer to that question could be mad, so we're gonna refer to
that is the maddest.
No, what, you've never thought about that before?
Never ever.
Bro.
I thought about that the whole way here. I said, I wonder if they've defined who's with.
No,
because that's it says bread and butter, but it's not clear.
No, bread and butter is like the saying.
But there's two people, and there's like, it's like Ant and Dec, Bill and Ben.
No, but that's not our names. That's the name of the pod.
Yeah, but like people
Because
have
we're
nicknames.
No, but we're talking about bread and butter. We're talking about how you make
I
your
feel
bread
like
and butter.
everyone watching this knows who's bread and butter, by the way. Can
Put
I
it
just
in the
get a little
comments
comment section who you think is who?
What does that even represent? What does bread and what does butter represent?
I don't know. Let's find it. Let us know what it represents.
Let us know in the comments. What does bread and butter even mean to you guys?
But broski, we got a wrap, so we'll ask you very quickly, what is the W and the L of your journey, or the cream and the crust of your journey, just so people can know what it's like to be in your shoes?
The W is definitely what we've spoken on. The W is being able to have an impact in my immediate society. Like, so the number of people that I've reached, particularly because I've got a really London-centric audience.
Yes.
Like the amount of times I've been out and someone said, yo, I watched this video and I bought my first house because of you. Oh, I bought my right to buy and now we've got a buy to let. Like, and the amount of people that I think I've been able to help, and even if it's that 0.0001%, just being able to move the needle, that's definitely my W. My L would probably be just my time trade-off. Like, there's been periods of my life where I've worked like 70, 80 hours a week consistently, non-stop for like a year. And I think, you know, it probably took its toll on me at the time, like mentally, in terms of just like friends, family, etc. So I definitely think find that balance.
Yeah.
Like, and as we talked about, like that the currency at the end of the day is time. So don't spend your time currency trying to get the monetary currency that isn't as important in the long run.
Yeah, no, facts could have said it better.
Come on.
Let the people know where they can find you. This is your camera.
Oh, man, let me lock in. Let me get the mic. You can hear me, right? I sound good? Good. All right, so Kaz from Property by Kazy. We are Property by Kazy on Instagram, YouTube. They're our main platforms if you want to reach out, or the pbkcommunity.com if you want to potentially find out about being one of the community members.
Amazing, amazing. Guys, thank you for joining us. Make sure you let us know in the comments below who is bread and who is butter and why you are saying it. And we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, big up
Peace.
Kazi. One.
Bro.